Okay, so that like in the famous thing right now is that we more like the monkey summoning creature of like that will be like a thing right now. Most likely putting out that even the show can run that not showcase that pocket and the game is running like the monkey summoning creature. Like most likely using that show can like it trying to like take out Orochimaru by then Orochimaru would have turned that into that Orochimaru's like actual pro form, which I'm still getting myself into something like that Orochimaru's pro form might be that of that the snake summoning creature. And I'm still sticking to my opinion because that Orochimaru might be actually the leader of like the snake summoning snake the react especially of the decides of our snake summoning creature. But he might be the character of the superior that he might be more interested in using on the so that on the flip side, that the giant three-headed snake that the village might be that the subordinate of that Orochimaru in like the snake race is definitely might look to them first. See like that way Orochimaru thinks at that point for like under the strength of like monkey something face of let's of the you about the like whole Sudokan and like the Orochimaru in like the shock of that basically upon the second turning back to Orochimaru for the snake form that is when that Orochimaru and that happens with like the exhaustion from that links are for the like Orochimaru uh, and not being able to like dodge at that point and get away from that the monkey coming research, which like outlet for this like was another there in but like even that way last second I was like the monkey coming research about it about historical and like for the tomorrow that way last second I'm talking about the even like the giant grim reaper that which is likely I'm looking at that point for that taking away like the souls of like somebody as well as like someone different literature at that last second is like looking out there and so leading to that fact don't like forget someone given literature being unable to like that the sure can and that way for tomorrow managing to like get away and just get come back the people select is not there and on tomorrow at that point I'm talking about music only focusing on like making it out at like the legal just getting out of the village that was not current and the new insurance right now especially that like Zara might have most likely made that might have most likely at that point might have witnessed like the intense battle between like Sartobi and Orochimaru and at that point like Jiraiya might have been totally betting on that definitely for like Sartobi to for and defeat Orochimaru and take out Orochimaru might have been like the case with the flame and friend. So like the flame movement this entire science since like so after that the war in like the big base beginning and like after this entire time passing like the activity of like Jiraiya still not showing up to that Orochimaru might be due to this reason. This definitely might be the case definitely not for him. So definitely that Orochimaru probably getting taken off by getting defeated by and taken out by Orochimaru might have gain as such an absolute of what Jiraiya might be like that. So if it representative definitely not finished. So like that way like I'm different that Jiraiya but that to certain extent of that for some things like different like Jiraiya I'm different that Jiraiya at the most likely having certain extent of from most likely due to that about the redemption Jiraiya most likely having still be witness that or tomorrow due to like Sarko like or tomorrow again the manufacturing like back to like or tomorrow's next name form and that there are possibly witnessing also according to my information like there are possibly witnessing Orochimaru struggling and trying to like escape out of that village place. So like I'm referring that as like Orochimaru is almost about to make it out of like the boundary of that village. Like, at that very last second I'm referring like I know what confidence there are deciding to like break uh and destroy that Orochimaru's like hopes of like escaping by like showing up and in front of and stopping Orochimaru deciding to like stop Orochimaru like only at that border area, like the place, like looking at it. So like at that point, Orochimaru seeing Jiraiya being completely scared and everything like Jiraiya with that a single attack itself that can looking like causing a lot of causing like to funny and like literally that Orochimaru taking it that uh, uh, going through suffering at that point is like within our that a little bit of the point. So at that point, Shubham to bring that Orochimaru at the moment Orochimaru will be seen for at that point just like I'm uh, still sticking in my root taking it and person that like at that point just like Orochimaru that thinking communicating that with like the snake language by then like Orochimaru is like communicating towards like the three headed sword. So like I'm looking like rifles left the right with the other will like take out like Orochimaru. And that is last second it comes to looking like the giant and three headed snake like 4 point to make that right showing up to rescue Orochimaru and bring Jiraiya down. Like the scenario that I'm looking. So like at that point, like Jiraiya was just like 300 snake battle. Had made us left the scenario that I'm in which left Jiraiya is later late for indicating a take off like 300 snake is left the scenario, the scenario that I'm. But like I'm in that brief moment of like that battle between like the 300 giant 300 snake and Jiraiya, creating that open for like Orochimaru to be able to make it out of like really legend of the about really basic like and from Jiraiya was like the into scenario that I'm developing and I'm putting. Yes, so that definitely it's to figure out the ambition like that. So that's not it's like Sharon actual plan might have been definitely to like state some sort of plan. A single powerful like confidence pro, which might be so deep within somewhere within less than it like a single step of the throw for like multiple powerful confidence rates. This might have been definitely like that ultimate top priority of like Orochimaru, the kind of like attack on like limited, especially the reimbursement that I'm thinking of. So like Orochimaru's like uh, fight against that Sarutobi in like public views might have been a total distraction to have that the main focus of that village like army of ninjas to be on like that uh, that is taking place in like public view between like Orochimaru and Sarutobi while Orochimaru's henchmen are going to like Orochimaru's tactic or like might have been actually supposed to like for Orochimaru to like start away as much time as it's like required for like Orochimaru's henchmen while that the battle gets out of the way taken place for Orochimaru respect from like the sound level to like stealthily sneak in deep into that area within that the village for the map use might exist and to like steal those like corporate goals that Orochimaru and most likely once the image that got controlled are like stolen and like Orochimaru gets that cute that the Nukan is left up like at that point for like Orochimaru most likely to that escape might have been definitely Orochimaru's acting plan and like Orochimaru plan might have been definitely not to that point like the main stage but like even Orochimaru maybe it might be of like might have been feeling that like Orochimaru and like some village certain level of strength and even with like the alliance of like the fan village them won't be able to like they won't be having front to like the story like the village might be along the lines even Orochimaru might be very person might be like actually the situation that may not bring so like Orochimaru's plan might and top priority at might have been only coach like to the fourth approach powerful confidence approach within that somewhere within that politically going to might be to like steal those powerful approach and like for Orochimaru to like also affect something as well in like the purpose and like Orochimaru's plan to like affect something might have been definitely might have been a plan that might have been formed only once like Orochimaru showed up to that the place during like the fourth of like during like the second phase of like the tournaments and we might have been scenario where Orochimaru showing up without knowing about like Sasuke, but only running into like Sasuke and finding out about like Sasuke might have been like the case. And then Orochimaru at that point on for like picking up this like secondary plan to like about Sasuke might have been like the case. Definitely was for him. So like Orochimaru's like top priority might have been to like steal those forbidden scrolls the political might be in this room. And so definitely this might have been like the case that Lehman could represent. This might be the reason for like even after like Safavi getting taken out like this with Ostimar is still even taking the decision to like fall off the select plan like might be the exact plan to like steal confidence growth. Might be like that with the situations definitely from like might be that like the different ways definitely might be there. Definitely or customers actual plan might have been to like steal those growth as well as like to and for Orochimaru to like the powers of like learning those skills, the jutsu from the scrolls and basically to gain all that power from jutsu from the forbidden scroll. And then for like Orochimaru in like the future to like actually like launch a proper attack on the village with that have to do things to like destroy the village might have been in like the future might have been one of the actual plans definitely might be like the case definitely about to give that number to bring to them. And so the police might have the impression right now is that like it might have been after like Itachi had like destroyed like the Uchiha like that and press out here that like might have been after that incident that it be the fight between that don't demand the permission that the fight between that Orochimaru versus like Itachi might have taken place in which like Orochimaru might have badly wound up to that prove himself that he's that strong of that Itachi. And flipping like the three legendary ninjas might be that of like the of like uh, it might be Itachi that might be the strongest like the three legendary ninja. And like then Orochimaru and Jiraiya. And then Jiraiya might be like the weakest and like the three legendary ninjas. And these three might be like the three legendary ninjas might be the case of the Lina Brand. So probably Orochimaru in like the past might have probably fought up against like Jiraiya and might have defeated Jiraiya in like the recent past might be like the case of Lina Brand. So like definitely Orochimaru might have wanted to like prove to himself that like Bradley might have wanted to like prove to himself that he's like the strongest among like the three legendary ninjas. And that way like Orochimaru after like the Itachi destroyed like the Uchiha clan might be after that incident that like Orochimaru might have found and challenged Itachi to a battle to one was from that line that battle under the like Itachi without much difficulty or might have easily offered and to get it. Orochimaru might have been one night and certainly might have surrendered. And at least like after defeating Orochimaru, like Itachi might have insulted Orochimaru and embarrassed Orochimaru by saying that Orochimaru is like totally unworthy of like the of that uh, being placed alongside Itachi as the in like the position of like one of like the three legendary ninjas might be along the line that Itachi might have mocked Orochimaru. And then that's Orochimaru that might have been like it is definitely not for him. And before leaving that, not sparing Orochimaru and leaving, Itachi might have, because like Itachi might have been not at all interested in that Orochimaru after that, like Orochimaru might have not even been able to like give even bit of like a challenge at all to like Itachi in that defeating like Orochimaru and the Itachi that can like this consequent to my experience and that that's the thing might have taken place and like that might have been the case. So like uh as like to have like Orochimaru we both like live that and that's meant like a different like in a realistic manner like might have been Itachi totally experienced Orochimaru after defeating Orochimaru, usually defeating Orochimaru that might have been what might have happened is definitely my chance Itachi before leaving might have told Orochimaru that like at this point like Itachi is like only hope of that even getting a challenging battle, challenging and exciting battle is that the sole hope that it doesn't have is only on the left brother. Might be along the line that Kachi might have said to like Orochimaru before like meeting. Might have, after defeating Orochimaru might have been what might have happened certainly not 300. So this might have been something that might have happened especially not during the time like so that way like in like the recent June exam like once like the second phase of the June exam of that Orochimaru might have actually might have been a scenario where like Orochimaru showing up to actually place not even realizing about like Sasuke's potential actually place but like Orochimaru with the sheer coincidence like running into like Sasuke and basically at that point like Orochimaru shockingly having that absolute realization that is like that like Sasuke is that brother of that Itachi and Itachi someone has a potentially superiorly stronger than Orochimaru Itachi who places like so much of hope that like giving a challenging battle towards for like Itachi. Might be along the line some which like Orochimaru might have on realizing that Sasuke is like like might have been that the case definitely went through. So Orochimaru at that point eventually might have realized that like Sasuke's like Itachi's like sort of might have been that the case with the later Korean so that way like I'm different like Orochimaru who might have been extremely frustrated of like the people embarrassment of that Orochimaru's like unexpected loss against like that it might have been so unexpected for like Orochimaru back then because like back then Orochimaru might have been so extremely overconfident might have been also the case that he was the exception way more overconfident than the percent Orochimaru might have been the case that we know clearly. So that way like I'm thinking like Orochimaru might have probably seen Sasuke as his like ultimate from start to and like the power that he will be gaining after that he taken folks of like Sasuke uh, and will be able to reflect the body reflect Sasuke at that point like the power that Orochimaru would be possible with like the sharing them would be making it possible for like Orochimaru to finally get his like revenge on like Itachi and finally offer get back at Itachi and like finally offer and defeat and take out all of like frustration back at like Itachi and like offer and defeat Itachi. Uh, and subtracted agents might be along the lines and the different letters tomorrow might have had all the hopes and plans after coming into during second days of June exam the initial list might have been what might have actually happened if opportunities that I'm different and also yes, so yeah, right. That's my the ambition right now is that something at present might be feeling that certain extent of that kid loss of currently having friends that Sakura and to bring okay back to that Kakashi and basically so leading to that Sakya chasing after that Dara and basically to that at present that was the situation that exhausted and the situation of Naruto as well as Sakura. Amazon Satya at present might be dealing that case and Satya at present might be heading off to most likely uh, go up to that Kakashi and they need to get help from that Kakashi to that send reinforcement to that to be free that Sakura as well as Naruto. With this Indian I'm looking Satya might have left right now. It's definitely my different but I'm looking for the scenario to do that as Satya would be having that trying to make it towards a chance to connect with all the status make it look at that and so different by sheer constant running into the group of the video of the sandwich pizza as well as topic of the scenario that I'm also talking about and at that point I'm looking that sandwich pizza and being that probably putting us this team that we have selected that for and basically him straight away deciding to offer and we can start again straight away attack some this in our so the straight away a battle happening between of South and the side really three girls this in our setup that could end up in South it's Austin representing in Los Angeles streets of the conspiracy you can see or the debating South is in that battle is this in our setup and with and I'm looking scenario to and piece of with the very next attack to badly we can stop it and to affect something will be about to land that powerful attack on a powerful attack on something that will last again able to double something that only unexpected matter double attacking the sun with speaker the kind attack instantly straight away taking out the sun with speaker it's the scenario that I'm looking and at that point I'm looking something being a little bit strong and definitely, I'm still thinking my development by black. And let me take that some laptop for spending time with black and about my doubt definitely considering black narcos that the purity of black narcos cap totally influencing narcos cap and basically that influence resulting in black not being left himself to lack of the different schools that corruption order and they to affect such while knowing or tomorrow can basically that way that Sabuka not being able to bring himself to proceed according to plan and affect plus yes, even at that point it's the scenario that I'm going to publish. So instead Sabuka taking out the Sandwich feature and saving some cases the scenario that I'm going to publish. So that at that point I'm putting on I just Sabuka with the smile without saying a single word select okay, let's straight away read that area. Like one person scenario that is different. Or another way to a smile telling the stage to get going and basically come to straight away even just like that after taking taking out the sand relation where we just giving the scenario that I'm looking over the way and my experiences. That way something making it towards capacity and definitely capacity sending reinforcement and that way Naruto as well as Sakura to be brought back to work towards attaching and getting creative and then scenario that I'm going to many of the and that way, according to my the 10% of the trend by the time that traffic reinforcement would be showing up to the adaptation of that where Naruto and Sakura deal and I'm going to by then that I'm going to bring that the view of that Kanjuro as well as that Tamari by then that in between that time that showing up and basically taking Gara that bad day suspend Gara and basically getting from the replacement given the scenario where I'm so by the time the Kagis are being submitted will be arriving I'm different Gara as well as Tamari as well as Kanjuro throughout the game is given the scenario that I'm showing right now and that would be a question. Also, it is according to my particular impression of preparing for Jiraiya, not even Jiraiya, doing it to stop and prevents Orochimaru's escape, from manipulating selected scenario that I'm trying. Definitely, at that point, I'm only trying Jiraiya to get in the perspective and definitely I'm at that point is when I'm looking that the Katagage during the select attempt to like escape would be probably running into Jiraiya, and that by fear things it's like a scenario that I was doing, and Liam at that point for like Jiraiya was like they picking up like the Katagage. It's just the scenario that I was doing. That Liam was bring like Katagage not survive this like current war like the replace like the scenario that I'm looking, and that is a huge fact which will be eventually resulting in that Gara along with like Antoro and Tamari after like making it back to like the fan village eventually government great delay like eventually like Gara ending up replacing like the Tasgari as like the new like role of like the sand village. It was like the scenario that I'm looking for the end of the end. So definitely my best question right now is definitely like the law of Trump probably to like impact of that absolute impact on the like the scenario that definitely I'm looking like for how those hoping feeling strongly that maybe if only one hammer was like strong then was older and like stronger that one hammer would have prevented like the loss of Laksa. So we will be along the lines like one hammer with this strongly choosing stability and surrender. So definitely one hammer on the different will be the loss of that Sartori like from the resulting in that one hammer mindset like strengthening and sharpening to the point of like one hammer like being involved to making that work to like himself to that properly to like not lose any more of that anyone is like the purchase of like in order for one hammer to like not lose any more individuals who are like the projects will be purchased to like one hammer to like one hammer feel like totally putting all that focus and putting all that hard work and effort into lab and into the training and to become the ultimate ninja into Black Hammer. Totally like the loss of Black Hammer, cutting in Black Hammer, very well setting up as Black War and definitely Black Hammer also thinking of Naruto as well. How Naruto badly wants to become that Hokage. And definitely Black Hammer totally come down to that conclusion of like the decision work on Hammer as well to like set up as its ultimate goal to like totally become like the Hokage and for like definitely so that like on Hammer would have to like use on Hammer can which everyone practice to like on Hammer as well as like the league and the hierarchy of like the league like protected so that like on Hammer doesn't have to like lose any more individual like practice to like on Hammer will be along the line to like on Hammer will be coming down to the decision and basically to even compete with like Naruto and to surpass Naruto. It like Konohamaru has to like attain that absolute goal of like Konohamaru. To be along the lines of the different Konohamaru, like the loss of like probably causing that like absolute shift in like the mindset of like Konohamaru was like the Olympic scenario that I'm the and that according to my culture and version of the different of like on goals that repeated just like ultimate new goals of like on ham to become that the other which is like in another way and can choose that on ham is like choose friends like and this them will bring up that point like them as well so this way the way deciding to like to do everything to get all that hard work and everything their power to like ensure to that help Konohama achieve that ultimate goal. It's like to be along the lines of putting that those different of like Konohama setting up as their ultimate goal at that point, respecting dictionary that I'm looking at the different of the game. Also, certainly my experience right now is certainly for like considered that bunch of like shonen level ninjas like trying to like pressurize like Jiraiya, requesting Jiraiya to like be the next Hokage of like the village or at least the uh, temporarily take over like the position of like the Hokage of like the village until like the leaf village like of people at the top positions of like the leaf village like difficult time would be eventually be able to like find someone to replace like Sarutobi like the next Hokage until that point at least either to be like the next Hokage of like the place or so at least be a temporary Hokage of like the place like under the friend that lecture I have been requested multiple times like the scenario that I'm doing. Yet lecture I definitely will be refusing refusing to be like the Hokage like the sense of like the place is like the scenario that I'm doing because like I'm so different lecture I am most likely might be totally the be feeling as if that basically if Jiraiya becomes like the Hokage of like the place like Jiraiya would be losing all like freedom because like Jiraiya at Jiraiya like urban goal might be definitely Orochimaru to definitely bring down Orochimaru through all means. It might be definitely the only thing in like Jiraiya's mind is definitely not correct because like definitely it might have been Orochimaru that might have like Mr. Bus might have destroyed like Jiraiya's family. Might have been like the case, definitely not correct. So definitely Jiraiya might be of the mindset to like never trust until he makes it to like brings down Orochimaru might have been like the case definitely not correct. And also definitely not correct right now that like in like the war, the recent war in like the list might have been maybe the scenario where like Jiraiya while searching for like Orochimaru might have maybe ran into like the giant three-headed snake and like a battle between Jiraiya and like the giant three-headed snake might have happened, which might have resulted in like basically, which might have been maybe what might have resulted in like the entire time like the war took place like Jiraiya still not being able to like at all make it towards like the battle towards like where like the battle between like Sarutobi and Orochimaru was like taken place might be like the situation might be like it is like about the environment. So like Orochimaru might be bringing down Orochimaru might be like the only thing in like Jiraiya might end up being on for Jiraiya to accomplish that Jiraiya might be after like Orochimaru escape from the village place like Jiraiya might have fixed in his mind like at leave go on a journey and leave like the village to like search and find Orochimaru and bring down Orochimaru might be along the lines of like the mindset of like Jiraiya might be like it's stepping out like so definitely this might be the reason for like Jiraiya according to my friend, is eventually totally refusing the offer of that is me, the request of that is me being that the Hokage obviously there is like even the scenario that I'm trying to like that way like I'm considering with like Jiraiya's like refusal and for different eventually the Nas father like getting requested to take the role of that the Hokage of like the legalize like the scenario that I'm looking and the am bring him as well like refusing that question and basically that resulting in like another member from like the head family of like the family that accepting taking up that position of like the head of like the Hokage position of that village. It's like the scenario that I'm looking and I'm totally putting that member of like head family effectively the family like I'm putting like that individual being like an extremely greedy and villanistic and gullible person might be like a minimum generation. That way like and that member of like head family of like the Yoga family who I'm totally putting will be eventually to eventually end up replacing Sartori as like the next Hokage of the village. Like I'm being the exact and complete opposite like Sartori. Like the scenario that I'm and definitely on the front like him starting to like follow like the leaf village resulting in like the entirety of like the leaf village like creating trouble for like headaches for like the entirety of like the leaf village is like eventual scenario that I'm basically putting and like that individual who will be replacing like Sartori of like the society and probably to be an extremely realistic and greedy person and selfish person might be like the case like the scenario that I'm basically putting as a friend. So especially my ambition right now is that basically the first as well as like the second one. Okay, so I think that found of like the need to live like and there might be naturally that the first as well as second again might be individuals from a village of fire when they might have gotten kicked out from that village of fire in like the long past might have been taking the river and after getting kicked out from like the village of fire and I'm from like the village of fire might have like the ruler of that village of fire might have been a very mistake person or like I'm thinking that any ruler might have happened for that village. The old ruler might have been a good ruler, but like the new ruler might have been a realistic ruler and I'm thinking that the ideologies that the village of fire upholded until that point of like goodness, of all sorts of goodness like might have been or taken away from like the villages of like the village of what like this like new ruler might have taken his throne, might have been what might have happened if the on the brain. Might have been like the role might have been what might have happened if the on the brain. To which like I'm thinking like these two like the first as well as second Hokage like the village like before them becoming the before them founding like the village might have objected to that ruler of like the village of fire and that ruler might have kicked them out of like the village of fire might have been what might have happened if the might have been able to then that way like I'm thinking like the first as well as second Hokage as well as like a few villagers from like the village of fire who was like totally in agreement and to like the previous ideologies of like the village of and to the act of like the rebellion by like that of the second Hokage before them become that like those villages of like the village of who were in like the agreement they might have like they might have been only few in number at that time and they might have left like the village of and might have that way along with like the first or second Hokage they might have found out that this like lead village might have been what might happen with the new premises. So like eventually all find that as like the lead village like floor like something like at that point I'm referring like it might have been like this very same rule of like the village of that might have gotten jealous of and the of like the success of like the of that village second book and like through like the flourishing of like the new village that like I'm referring that way like I'm looking that realistic rule of like the village of might have decided to like destroy like the new village might have been what might have happened is that minimum so like but we are bring like the nine tail box and like the red chakra might be connected to this like will of fire uh, which like the Sato also known the minimum so the police might be due to like the initial the people who founded like the lead village or actually being from their own like leading to that the village of fire might be the reason for like the importance of like skill fire connecting that according to Sartori connecting like everyone in like the village might be like the case like Liam pyramid. So like Liam was the attack by like the Nile Fox and like the Chakra might be all connected to like the power of the fire element. It's the Liam pyramid. So like it might have been maybe like the Nile Fox might have maybe belonged to that villain rule of the village of fire it might have been and like the related part like launching that walk on like the league list might have been when like the league list uh, even in like the simple that's about to get destroyed by the United of that situation happening might have happened through such a manner. Might have been like it is like a possibility that I'm the friend. So like that way going to my the dimension of different like this realistic rule of like the village of fire which might have existed like might have I think the multiple times to like destroy like the village of them. To destroy the actually place might have been like the case and might have failed might have time back when like the first the second hope again might have been like the rulers of like the and they might have hold like the place together might have been like the case definitely for any so definitely like during that time that they might have eventually that this latter repeated wars might have taken place in that period in the village incited by like the village of path might have been like the case definitely so like eventually I'm referring like in one of those wars like I'm referring that the first as well as like second Hokage might have got sort of taken out, might have been left with his and that way like Sarutobi ending up becoming like the third Hokage and like the Ember still like that villain stick the role of like the village might have still survive and he might have decided to like not give up until he destroys like the entirety of like the village might be along the lines that of like that villain stick that role of like the village of fire might have added the human character. So that way like I'm looking like it might have been eventually once like the fourth Hokage not was found of like the fourth Hokage was ruling over like the leaf village that basically the like it might have been a war led by this like villanistic role of like the village of with like maybe even aligning with like another village as well and combining in a combined manner like when launching that war against like the new village might have been out like during that point might have been when like that villanistic role of like the villagers might have finally made it to being able to like get access to some sort of like confidence to which like we might have been able to like release and like access like the real of like the nine tail fox and might have someone like the nine tail fox and might have been what might have happened is definitely my pyramid and he might have used that summoning to exactly to made in between like the war while like the war might have been taking place in like the village that it might have been there in like the middle of the leaflet that he might have used that summoning tools and might have brought out that nine tail fox and like definitely because like the nine tail fox might have been impossible for that within take role of the first level of strength to be able to like control at all the new so like solely to the intent to like destroy the entire leaflet like that way through a summoning tool so he might have also some uh, that. that giant mankind was, while like the war might have been going on within that the legalist might have been what might have happened is definitely Mediterranean. But it is so like what need might be during a person right now that elected Sebastian like manipulation that might have been manipulation in Japan might have had that ultimate secretary with just report to be that the strongest leader in like the world through enemy. And like I'm looking maybe he might have also had like the to attain immortality as well. Might be also the case like the Pacific that I'm looking for. And I believe this ninja might have had like he might have been young during like the time of like when like the 19th of attack like the lead like during that point like this like villainous take deflation ninja might have been young, might have been the case, but like he might have taken advantage of that situation where like the Night Box was like attacking like and destroying like the relation to that. So during that point might have escape not only just escape from like manipulation, but like he might have really stolen like the extremely powerful forbidden scrolls which might have been locked up and sealed within that the manipulation. But due to that by the Night Box those areas might have got accessible for like this like realistic deflation there might have been what might have happened. So like he might have taken up gathered a bunch of like might have really stolen like a bunch of like a great number of like these forbidden scrolls that might have steadily escaped from like the place even way back then in like recent past might have been what might have happened if it never been. So like after like the four protagonists stopped like the 19 of like I'm like like quickly that about like those forbidden scrolls being lost, like in the phrase might have been thought of it that might have quickly found out about that and might have at least sealed back that for that area might have been what might have happened and like Orochimaru might have not found out about this might have been like the case that you know so like Orochimaru even to the present might be only like to believe that those powerful forbidden scrolls this according to my recollection this might have been got us gone even way back that during the attack of the United was on the regulation like Orochimaru might be totally even to the person might be unaware of that Swordsman was getting Swordsman stolen even back then might have been like the case that new so like even like the person attack on like the regulation by Orochimaru like Orochimaru's like goal might have been those exact powerful forbidden scrolls might have been like the case that new so like back when like the 19 Fox attack like the regulation like back then like Orochimaru might have not even been aware of that person of like these forbidden scrolls powerful person scrolls when like the regulation might have been like the case hence like Orochimaru might have not taken advantage of that war situation in like the regulation by the 19 might have been like the case in the Cleveland threat. So definitely that elite relationship will escape that like the campus like might have eventually through like the corporate growth like computer like he might have learned powerful, he might have attained like powerful, great number of powerful in the powerful tools might have been corporate and he might have seen those tools as his like to be able to like, create like corporate to like eventually becoming like the most invincible ninja as well as like the an immortal ninja as well the same time might have been like it is totally another room. So like even to the person like you might have not made it towards like you're gonna reach it immortality. But like or like invincibility I love might be like the case in another room. You get like he might be one of like the most strongest ninja like the one among the three most strongest ninja in like the entirety of like the world of like Naruto and it might have been and be like the case that person is definitely so so that according to my generation, that in the Eastern past, like certainly there might have been a battle between like Itachi and Orochimaru, which like Itachi might have easily offer and defeated Orochimaru and might have that's for Orochimaru. Might have been like the gates but new to represent Itachi even destroying like the Uchiha clan might have been solely for like might have been due to like Itachi being so extremely poor but like not getting a challenging battle and that is sparing Sasuke so that like Sasuke will be having that active race towards like Itachi and will be that race is resulting in like eventually like a distant of like Sasuke coming back to like get revenge on Itachi and at that point go like Itachi to get them working a challenging that might be with like intent like that in a second then that like Itachi might have or like Tokyo line like some thoughts might have been like the expecting him the primary. So like after all that happening like I'm like Itachi might have been like by sheer coincidence like the extremely powerful Itachi might have ran into like this exact like these relation with Japan might have just like the forbidden close might have been what might have happened to the new organization and like it actually might have just by running it in like just by this process alone like it actually might have been instantly able to like sense like exciting levels of like power emanating from that mysterious that ninja, and that they might have had that they might have straight away attacked that mysterious village. Ninja might have actually village. Ninja might have been what might have happened with new incident. And that battle might have been what might have that battle might have resulted in that Itachi's that extreme overconfidence and huge ego getting crushed by that new village ninja. Actually, village ninja might have been such as lack powers of his lack confidence, poison, or confidence boosters and everything might have been what might have happened. It was being uncorrected. So that way that Itachi, exactly like how according to my information, Itachi might have in the kitchen that might have used the awkward and the or a Timaru like considering this and the serious like actually relation ninja might have used the awkward and the Itachi and Lat. Itachi as well might have got embarrassed by getting so easily irritated by this lack of the serious ninja might have been what might have happened to me also and that might have only crushed and destroyed like completely crushed and destroyed like Itachi's like all confidence that ego and everything and Itachi might have at that point of like the complexity itself like which might have been so easily getting defeated by uh, another individual might have been like the very first experience in like that you feel like not just easily getting defeated but like a defeat by another individual might have been like only happened at that point in like a deadly life and might have been like the first experience in that which I feel like that deadly because he might have lost straight away lost all hopes of life and might have felt impossible to ever be able to like surpass that mysterious ninja that like since that day like understand that he might have ended up becoming like the subordinate henchman of that extremely awkward ninja might have been what might have happened with me might have been nature. So that means that the person might be working for that mysterious for actually village ninja might be like the activity perfect representative Mr. Leon Frame. So like at person like Itachi as well as the serious ninja like showing up to like the village like actually might be solely for them to like see the extent of that damage like Orochimaru has caused on like the village alone for that reason alone like they might have shown up to like the village might be like that to different representation of name and ceremony. So the name of the different like even with like Itachi's like person in like particular that person like Itachi not even going up to or like meeting with like club that all like the scenario that and so like it might have been certainly to like for them to like let's see like the extent of damage done to like particular that okay prior to tomorrow alone like they might have showed up so like I'm putting them straight away leave it to like seeing the damage right now it's simple that changing scenario that I'm going to